Today we're taking a look at and doing a tasting and review of El Tesoro Blanco right here on the Tequila Hombre, coming up next. And welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre. Today we're taking a look at and doing a tasting and review of the El Tesoro Blanco. Now, El Tesoro is a brand that is made at NOM 1139, which is a distillery named La Alteña. Now, La Alteña was started in 1937 by a gentleman named Don Felipe Camarena, which is the grandfather of the gentleman that runs it today, whose name is Carlos Camarena. Now, if you notice the similarity in the last name to another review that we did, another master distiller, Felipe Camarena, Carlos and Felipe are brothers, and Don Felipe is their grandfather. So this distillery has been around for 80 years, producing El Tesoro tequila as well as a couple of other tequila brands, and they're known for making fantastic tequila. El Tesoro itself is made with estate-grown agave. Carlos grows them all on their estate there. When they hit the peak of ripeness, which means they have the max amount of sweetness they can, he harvests them and then cooks them in a horno, which is a steam-powered stone and brick oven, cooks them for 48 hours, and then lets them sit for 24 hours until they can be handled by the staff, at which time they then take the piñas and put them in the tahona and crush them with the tahona rock to extract the sugars and the sweetness from the fibers. Once they're done extracting that, they then put the fiber and this juice from the agave into a wooden open fermentation tank where it is then fermented, and then they move the fiber as well as the juice into the copper pot still where they do the first distillation, and then they do the second distillation in a copper pot still without the fiber. Now, one thing that's different with this tequila than others is that distillation is done at 40 proof. It is not watered down at all. So you get the beautiful agave taste that you're looking for in a tequila from this without watering down the flavor at all. So after it is done fermenting and being distilled, it goes right into the bottle where it is then distributed to the store where you and I can buy it and enjoy it. So now that you know how this is made, let's take a look, take a dive down and take a look at what the bottle looks like. All right, diving down, taking a look at the bottle. On the top, the cap is actually in shape of a tahona, which is pretty cool, a tahona stone. So then as you scroll down, it's got a little ribbon on the top that says La Alteña. Desde 1937, which means it's established in 1937. And it has the distillery in Arandas, which is the highlands of Jalisco. And then looking down further on the bottle, there's the label. It's got their big tahona rock being pushed by a guy. Another guy with the pitchfork that moves the fiber around so they can get it crushed and extract the sugars from it. 100% pure agave, so you know it's not a mixto. It's signed by Don Felipe Camarena as well. Crafted La Alteña. And what does that say? Batch number 3, which is pretty cool. And then El Tesoro, and it gives a little story about the distillery. Talks about how it's made. And then Carlos's autograph, and the distillery, and it's imported by Fielding and Jones in Chicago, Illinois. Government warning, product of Mexico, the NOM number 1139 and CRT, 40% alcohol by volume, 750 milliliters. And so that is the bottle. It's a pretty neat looking bottle, very easy to recognize on the shelf. And of course it says it's 100% agave azul, 100% Weber blue agave. Alright, so that's a taking a look at the bottle. Let's now go up
and do a tasting.
And welcome back. Now, as a side note, the bottle that we showed you in the dive down is from the newer packaging. If you do find bottles that look like this on the shelf, this is the what they call the olive oil bottle, and these is still the same brand. It's just this is older packaging. And you can still find these on the shelves, and you can find them for somewhere around $30 or so. So you can actually find these for a little less than the newer packaging stuff. All right, so let's take a look at and do a tasting of this tequila. Of course, I'm using the Jarrito Stazzle nosing glass that I normally do. And let's pour a little bit here and take a look at it. So taking a look at it, you can see it is crystal clear. Sometimes on a Blanco, the reason why I hold it up and look at this, sometimes on a Blanco you can see a little yellow tint to it, because a Blanco can be aged in a wooden barrel for up to 60 days, and sometimes it will take on a little yellow tint. This is crystal clear as it's not aged in a barrel at all. It goes straight into the bottle. And then you can also see it's got nice legs to it, and then you can see the pearls on the side of the glass as well. So we know it's going to have a little creamy viscosity to it. So taking a look at the nose on it, let's, oh, beautiful cooked agave right up front. I'm not getting any alcohol burn in the nose at all. A little bit of olive brine saltiness to it. So if you ever open up an olive jar and kind of smell the inside, that salty olivey smell that you get from it, that's definitely can detect that in here as well. But a beautiful cooked agave smell on this. It's got that cinnamony baking spice type of aroma on it. It's really nice. All right, so let's take a tasting and see what this is all about. So it's got a nice creamy mouthfeel to it. Cooked agave like crazy. Definitely get that wonderful baking spice, kind of cinnamon, clovey kind of agave, cooked agave taste, which I love. It's definitely rich in cooked agave. I'm also getting a little bit of grassiness from it. The vegetal grassiness that you get from cooked agave as well. It's very refreshing. It's not foul in any way. I'm not picking up any bitterness. It's just a lot of sweetness to it, which is nice. And then on the finish, the heat carries this finish through, so you get that sweetness lasting a little while on the finish as well. It doesn't go away very quickly, so it's got a nice finish to it. It's a very enjoyable sipper. I definitely would recommend this as a nice sipping Blanco. It would also make fantastic margaritas. This is a very good Blanco. I highly recommend it. I know right now on the shelves I can find the newer bottles for somewhere around $40 to $45. You can find the older olive oil bottles for somewhere around between $30 to $35. It is definitely one that you need for your collection, for your bar at home, to make margaritas with, or to have as an enjoyable Blanco sipper. It will not disappoint. Very nice tequila. I'm going to enjoy finishing the rest of this. All right, well, that's pretty much all I have for you today. I am going to finish the rest of this and drink this. So if you have any comments, or if you've tried El Tesoro and like to tell me what you think of it, please post your comments below. Don't forget to give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe. We got some other great reviews of other great tequilas coming up we'd like to share with you. Other than that, I'm going to finish the rest of this. And as I always say at the end of my videos, life is too short to drink bad tequila. Salud.